Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my LP run for the game Mega Man 1 on the NES. In today's part, we are going to be taking on the first level in Dr. Wily's castle. So let's go ahead, we're going to select the evil scientist, Dr. Wily. This guy has made so many appearances in the Mega Man games, it's just ridiculous. Here's his infamous flying saucer and those eyebrows. The first level in the Dr. Wily castle rather, is pretty hard actually. This ice slasher is really going to come in handy for getting past all the guardians. It has a kind of a cool song, I really like it. And I'm going to just use the magnet beam actually here to get past the third guardian. Fighting those guys, I don't really recommend it because you're probably going to take some damage, and this is a level you definitely don't want to take a lot of damage. There's not a lot of health power-ups in here for one thing, because there's not really that many enemies, and there's a lot of hazards to Mega Man, like these fire pillars, there's a lot of spike pits, and the boss at the end of this level, if you fight him in the correct way, is extremely difficult, so I don't recommend it. Just use the elect beam to deal with these jumping guys. That's a pretty quick way of wasting. You can actually use the elect beam to get rid of the blocks here if you want to, but I definitely don't recommend that. Much too useful of a weapon, we'll use the guts arm instead. And then for the bullet bills, just use the regular buster for getting through those guys. So we're about to get to the, that was a close one there, jeez. This is a really hard part. I don't know how to avoid getting hit by that bullet when you fall down the hole. It seems to always happen to me. I think you pretty much have to use the magnet beam for getting across this pit. It's still not easy, so make sure you get across quickly. Now the nice thing about this part is if you're low on weapon energy, you can climb up and down this ladder to get more of it, and you can fill up all of your weapons that way. So we're going to be doing that to get our weapon energy back for the magnet beam. Also, the first time I ever played this game, I did not have the magnet beam, and it's a weapon that is kind of optional, at least for getting up to this point. You don't necessarily have to have it when you enter Wily's castle, but you'll never be able to beat the game or this level if you don't, because you need it for getting up this part. So I got up to there and I was like, what do? I had no idea how to get across, and then I later went online and I found out, oh, I have to have it, so I had to replay the entire game. And I think that's happened with other people as well. It's kind of a it's one of those things that they smoothed out over time. But anyway, we're now approaching the boss of the first Wily castle. This guy is known as the Yellow Devil, and if you don't use the pause trick, which in my opinion is kind of cheap, this guy is extremely difficult. Even though he uses the same pattern every time, it's very, very hard to dodge all these parts of his body, and they're flying across the screen kind of quick. But there's a really good way to beat him, and if you'll notice, I'm standing as far across on the other side of the screen as possible, so that when he shoots parts of his body across the screen, he's having to travel a further distance. And that gives me a much longer amount of time to react, so that's a really good trick for beating this guy. Stand all the way over here, let him send the pieces across. Just take your time going through here, it's okay if you do get hit. And then when the eyeball opens up, just shoot him with your elect beam. And we've got him down. Just like that, the hardest boss in the game is out of the way. And in the next part, we will be moving on to Wily Castle Level 2. I want to thank you guys so much for watching my LP run of Mega Man 1 for the NES. I will see you guys next time. This is Josh Dragon, signing out.